Hello, Internet. So, if you want to get paid, don't do work. Oh, and by the way, welcome to the Empirical Sword. I'm Lore Master DLC79, and I happen to believe that school doesn't teach, at least not the way it's supposed to. And we have to take our education into our own hands until such a time that we can reform the school system so that it prepares people for surviving life. Unfortunately, right now, it's letting a lot of people down. People are just outright giving up on education and just living their lives, seeking entertainment. And if you pop over to my channel page, you'll notice that I do a lot of gaming content. This is why. Because I believe the people that I need to reach are more interested in entertainment than in education. So that's what that's all about. So yeah, here's the thing. Most people in the world, they're like, get a good education, get a job, make money. And that's how you provide for you and your family and whatever. Well, here's the thing. The whole get a job thing. You don't actually get paid to do work. I mean, you do, but you don't. There's a quote by Elon Musk. I'm going to butcher the quote. I know it. It's like you don't get paid for doing work. You get paid for solving problems, and how much you get paid is dependent upon how intensely the problem needs to be solved. It's like how many people on planet Earth want it to be solved. How badly do they supply and demand? Basically, how in demand is the problem that you're solving? That's how much you get paid. You know what? I will give you an example from my own life. I will show you. Well, not show. In a figurative way, I'm showing. But I will tell you about one of the best experiences I've had in customer service. That's right, best. There is some good customer service out there. Recently, I bought an external hard drive, I should remember this. Yeah, WD MyBook, 6 terabytes. It's for storing my, well, for part of the backing up of my videos thing. I mean, they're big and they start to pile up, and I don't want to rely on just YouTube but that's beside the point. The point is, when I bought it from Walmart. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I bought it from Walmart and I took it home and I started. You're following the instructions. You know, it's literally plug and play, right? You know, you plug in the USB thingy, you plug in the power, and your computer's like, hey, you got a new thing, and I'm gonna do stuff with it, and then you reformat it so that you can store more than 4 gigs at one time. But my computer wasn't going, hey, I got a new thing. It was going, what are you doing? And the thing is, I then went to the websites and the troubleshooting thing, and opening up the disk management or the drive management, whatever it's called, and it's being registered, except it isn't. And well, long story short is. All of the solutions that I kept trying to do to initialize it, it wasn't even initialized. All of the steps I kept following to try to initialize it, it's like, your drive is too small, or the memory is too small, or something. And so eventually I broke down and called customer service. I know, it's a nightmare, right? But wait. So I called customer service, and there was the requisite hold time. It wasn't really that long. Less than 5 minutes. But eventually a guy answered the phone, and I'm like, hey, I bought this drive. I'm trying to initialize it. It's not even registering my computer isn't even registering it. I need to know if this is something that I screwed up or if I should return it. And he's like, well, why are you trying to initialize it? I mean, he had an accent. I'm not trying to make fun of him, but he had an accent that stood out to me. But he's why are you trying to initialize it? Well, it's not initialized. Was it like that when it came out of the package? Yep. I plugged the thing in, I plugged the other thing in, and it's not registering. So I did the troubleshooting thing, and then it said, hey, you need to initialize it. So I'm trying to initialize it, and the file space is too small. The other option, file space is too small. Oh, was it drop it? Well, I didn't drop it, but I bought it from Walmart. I know, right? And it was just like sitting out on a shelf. So I don't know what happened before I picked it up. Oh, well, see, our product is initialized in the factory. You shouldn't have to do that. It should literally be you plug it in and it works. If it's not working, it is defective, and you try to see if you can return it to the store. Okay, I mean, less than 2 minutes, plus the less than 5 minutes of hold time, I got my answer. That fast. I had a problem, and I got a solution. Admittedly, not the solution that I wanted, but, I mean, sometimes nature just doesn't care. If it's broke, it's broke. Now, let's contrast this with one of my worst experiences with customer service. Very next day, I packaged up the external drive in its packaging, and the next day I took it to Walmart after work, and apparently it was getting there at the changing of the shift because people were trying to get out of there very fast, and I would like to exchange this item for an equivalent item that actually works because this one doesn't. And like, typical thing, typical. Do you have the receipt? No, I lost it. I know. Somebody watching this right now is, look, if you have never, ever in your entire life lost even one receipt, feel free to cast the first stone. Otherwise, shut up. If you've lost even one receipt in your entire life, you don't get to talk. But yeah, I didn't have the receipt. And see, here's the thing. The way my brain works, I bought it with a debit card. Okay. See, the serial number is on the box or on the product or both. And that serial number is in their register, in their database. Since it was bought with a debit card, the debit card number should be in that database with that purchase. Debit card number is on my debit card. My name is on the debit card. My name is on my driver's license. My face is on my driver's license. My face is on my face. That is like an ironclad, flawless chain of ownership. The logic is flawless. Any court of law would accept that. Does Walmart do that? No. They don't save the debit card numbers. So I have to remember exactly which register I used, what I bought, how much, what I bought with everything else, the entire purchase, how much it cost, and then they have to spend 15 minutes to half an hour searching through their entire database. Saving one number would make that process a whole lot easier, because then you could just look it up based on the debit card number and the serial number on the product. Linking the two together. Does Walmart do that? No, because Walmart is stupid. So yeah, I think the entire process took about like an entire hour, because even though it took like half an hour to find your proof that I purchased the thing, then they have to go through all of the bureaucracy of why are you returning it? We can only exchange it for store credit because you don't have the actual receipt. Well, okay, that's fine, because I'm just going to turn around and buy the same thing that hopefully works. But yeah, there was a lot of that I had to actually walk all the way back to electronics, which is in the very back. And then, here's the thing I want to buy, here's the card, and an entire hour out of my life just to do what should be a simple swap. I went in with a problem, and the problem was solved. I actually have a working external drive now, but it took way longer than I think it should have. And see, that's another thing. How much you get paid depends on how efficiently and how satisfactorily you solve the problem you're trying to solve. But I mean, the overall point is, I mean, for one, you're contrasting good job versus bad job, and I'm not saying that everybody in Walmart is doing a bad job. They're inefficient, which to an INTJ is a bad job. I need to relax, I know. But still an entire hour to do the thing, but look, just let it go. Just let it go, let it go. We're letting it go. We're letting it go. But yeah, the overall point is there are like almost 8 billion people on planet Earth, and they all have problems, most of which they either don't want to solve themselves, are too busy to solve themselves, or don't know how to solve themselves. And they're willing to pay other people to solve those problems for them. You go to McDonald's or some other fast food place. You want food now. Not necessarily good food, not necessarily good tasting food, not necessarily good for you food, but you want something to fill your stomach now. Obviously, I don't like fast food. I don't think it tastes good. As much as they claim that they're trying to be healthy, I don't think they are. Admittedly, this is kind of biased from me living through the 80s with greasy burgers and greasy fries and grease everywhere, basically. That's not even the point of this video. The point is, you basically go in with a problem and you want it solved, and you want it solved with the least amount of inconvenience to yourself. That's essentially what it is. We don't want to inconvenience ourselves because we think that we're just so awesome that we should have whatever we want right now. That's actually why so many people are rich in the United States, is because the United States, and I live in the United States. I was born here, so I get to say this. But so many people in the United States are just extremely self-centered and narcissistic, and they want everything now. Don't inconvenience me. Just give it to me now. And rich people, well, smart people and rich people, who usually tend to be smart people, have figured out, hey, if I can get people what they want as quickly as they want it, I can make money off that. And that's why there are so many rich people, and why the rich people are so rich. It's because we're basically giving them our money in exchange for a lack of inconvenience. We're paying tons and tons and tons of our money to people to solve our problems for us. And that's what a job is all about. A job is basically a set of problems that you are supposed to solve, and you get paid to solve them. And the thing is, have you ever... I don't know if everybody watching this has actually been out in the workforce, but every now and then, somebody will be like, not my job, not my problem. It's like, they're the wrong mindset, basically. They're like, I'm here to do this job here that I signed a contract to solve. And the thing is, if your boss says, well, what happened to this? Not my job. You're basically saying, not my problem. Like, you don't want to take care of it. And the thing is, we get paid to solve problems. You're discarding, not only are you discarding not necessarily an opportunity to make money, but you're discarding responsibility. And employers want people who are responsible. Employers want people who are hungry to solve problems. And if you want to get paid a lot of money, you need to be hungry to solve a lot of problems. Again, this goes back to how rich people are in the United States. I mean, they're basically solving problems left and right and getting paid to do it. That is how you get rich. And no, I'm not rich. I'm just barely getting by, because the problems that I solve aren't exactly in high demand. I mean, look at how many people are actually watching this video, for example. Not many people want this kind of solution because not many people think of what I'm addressing as a problem. The lack of education system and the fact that the education system isn't properly preparing people for life. People look at the education system and like, oh well, it's working. They don't see how inefficient it is. And see, here's the thing. I'm going to make a prediction right now. Eventually, sometime in the future, Amazon is going to get into the fast food industry. They're going to have warehouses full of like ground meats and flour and eggs and milk and cheese and all the things needed to make hamburgers and French fries and whatever. And they're going to have machines that take those ingredients and make them into burgers and cut the potatoes into fries and then drop them in the fryer, put them on the grill and then flip the burgers. And they're going to have machines doing all of that, wrapping them up in packages and then delivering them to your doorstep with drones. I predict that Amazon is going to be doing that, but not only Amazon, everybody. Eventually, there are going to be no more jobs where you can flip burgers because machines will be doing it. Machines will be dropping the fries. Machines will be washing the dishes. Machines will be washing. We already have machines that wash cars. This is where the world is going. Eventually people aren't going to have the problem of I need someone to get back there and flip burgers for me because I don't want to do it myself. But people want to buy burgers. Those problems are eventually going to be solved by machines. So we kind of need to advance with the times and start addressing problems that are a slightly more human level. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. It's just that, one, manual labor kind of exhausts me, and I definitely see the world kind of getting into that same mindset of it's easier to have machines do it than have people do it because people complain, people call out sick. And eventually, people are going to need healthcare. Not every business actually does the healthcare thing, but eventually it may be a requirement, or maybe not. I don't know. But eventually, people are going to want healthcare more so than they do now, and then they're going to want more money. Again, that's another thing I see out of the workforce is people want more money, but they don't want to show up at work. They want to get paid for doing nothing, basically. And the world just doesn't work that way. You need to be in this mentality of, okay, there are problems out there to be solved, and I can get paid to solve them. But you don't be over greedy. Don't be greedy. Be hungry, but don't be greedy. Basically, be ready and willing and eager to solve problems, but don't just jump into situations. Hey, I'll do this for a fee. That's kind of I've noticed that's actually a dialogue option in open world RPGs. Well, I could take care of it for you, but it's going to cost. Nobody likes that. You might get some very desperate people to say, okay, I'll pay you. But most people will be like, yeah, I want somebody who's a little more magnanimous about it. Somebody who's not trying to you milk me for every single dollar I have. But yeah, if you want to make money, solve problems and be on the lookout for problems that need to be solved and the opportunity to solve them. It's not just finding problems that need to be solved. It's like, can I find a situation that can be converted into something that can potentially solve a problem that somebody might have? Right now, so many problems are very basic. People need water, people need food, people need shelter, people need cars. And actually, this video is kind of going on long enough already, so I won't get into any details about that. But do remember, demand is an issue as well. That's why this isn't exactly making a lot of money right now. In the future, I'm hoping it will, but this is not exactly an in-demand thing right now. And I really think it should be, because we're getting to a point where flipping burgers won't be an option. Or at least I think that's where we're heading. I could be wrong. But finally cutting this thing off, if you enjoy this sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon as well, because that way you'll get notifications when I drop videos. And, if you really like this and know somebody who would also get something out of my kind of content, share, because, they may not find it on their own. And yeah, so I will see you in the next one.